Good morning, folks, and Riot, if you're out there. Sadly, welcome back to another video. And I'm not nearly given up, but I'm, kind of hesitating to make these videos because even with the full evidence provided, 4 of the 5 players that we've analyzed here so far continue to queue up for ranked. And it's actually quite sad because the only player to be disciplined was one of a low level. And that kind of indicates to me, and probably the rest of the community, that Riot gives higher level accounts a little bit more leeway when it comes to trolling games. So maybe in that regard, I should be grateful because maybe that means I can type out the F word in chat to these negative people without worries of retaliation. Though, sidebar, I know this isn't true because I've been chat restricted for less in the past. But anyways, these videos take time and I'm not a pro at this. It's just me learning the basics of stitching these things together. And it's almost just like I'm trying to salvage what little enjoyment I can from all these toxic games, because I can assure you there's never going to be a shortage of content on the subject until Riot actually fixes their report and discipline system, aka bring back the tribunal. So my mindset currently right now is, in the end, if nothing changes, what's the point? Anyways, in this video, we're going to explore one set of trolls that I could not slip, or that I could not let slip through the cracks. And they're prime targets for Riot because they are low-level accounts being played by experienced summoners. So, without further ado, let me introduce you guys to one of the most absolutelyest, loveliest duo set of summoners I've come across in the Rift. I don't even know if I just spoke English. But they are Gochu Sex as my new jungle, which if you've been paying attention to the background, you've been seeing their behavior in the game, and Mega Slut, or Mega Salute, as my Bard support. And just note from here on out, I'm just going to refer to them as Gochu and Mega, just to kind of keep it a little bit more PG. And then we'll also take a look at this too, but there's a little bit of weird interaction going on that Cuplam Yun, the Ezreal AD carry, might also be involved. I have no idea how it could be related, but it's just really weird that it's kind of suspect, and I kind of don't believe in coincidences when it comes to this kind of stuff. So we'll take a look at that here. But focusing on the duo queue, both are low-level accounts that pretty much just started playing ranked, yesterday now, as everything before was normals or ARAMs to rank the accounts up so they're not purchased. And before my match with them yesterday, they played 2, going 1-1, and after reviewing those matches, they looked like they were actually playing to win, with Gochu playing Rengar jungle and Mega playing support Leona and Twitch. And then, funny enough, afterwards, they've played 2 more matches. They've probably played a little bit more today. But again, so far, all the matches look to be competitive, so what exactly happened with my match? Well, for whatever reason, Gochu decides to lead the duo in trolling, queuing up as jungle, selecting Nunu with Cleanse and Ghost as their summoner spells. Mega takes Bard with Exhaust and Ghost, which isn't too suspect, but Ghost on Bard is kind of, whatever. It could work. But it was pretty much clear from Champ Select that this game was never going to be competitive at all. So let's just go ahead and take a look at that. So now that we're in Champ Select, I need to provide a little bit of additional context. I actually went through 2 champion selects with the same group of players. The champ select we're looking at now is the first one that ended up being dismissed because someone dodged on the other side, I think. But in any case, the same exact series of events and dialogue took place between the jungler, Gochu, and bottom, Cuplam Yun. So here I got the recording on a little late, but we can see Gochu bans Cup's highlighted champion of choice, Teemo. Ignoring the fact that it's Teemo, Cup goes ahead and asks, "Why you ban my Teemo?" Gochu responds, "Why not?" Cup responds with the letters "I see" and then a smiley face with the equal sign. Again, this same exact pattern occurs in the next champion select, which was not recorded, at which point, I'm thinking they're just friends putting on a show, because the same exact dialogue, word for word, it's a little scripted. But anyways, distracted by that bit, and typically I also do not pay attention to champ select anyways, I failed to notice that Gochu's summoner spells as the jungler failed to take smite. And also, just watching this clip right now, I didn't even realize that I had a Skarner support. So Mega was going to take Skarner support originally with Exhaust and Ghost. So maybe Riot will say that that's my responsibility to dodge at that point. But is it really? Is that really fair to me to waste 5 minutes? Anyways, let's just move on to the game. So now that we're in game, and again, I didn't restart my recording, so we'll have to make do with the playback for this first minute. But right off the rip, an invade ping was spammed, so we all make our way to the enemy red side jungle, during which I didn't notice this, but Gochu pops Ghost while still in our base, and then Cleanse when we hit the first bush on our side, and then Mega goes ahead and pops Ghost, which makes a little bit more sense. But after failing to find anyone on their side, Gochu decides to intentionally feed mid by running under the turret and spamming Laugh or Dance at Yasuo. And then right after that, here we'll watch Mega decides to do something similar, overstaying for whatever reason, and dying to the enemy bot lane Kalista. And also at this point, I didn't really notice that, hey, Bard took E first. He took Tunnel. I thought maybe that was going to set us up for something, but I don't know. Usually Bards take Q first, right? So at this point, I start recording, and the first thing I do is I scroll up as far as I can through the chat, and sure enough, I find the same exact words, the pattern, dialogue between Cuplamnion and Gochu appear. Why did you ban my Teemo? Why not? I see smiley face with a question mark. And it's almost as if this is a code or a sign. And honestly, I'm starting to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's a way to signal, now that you don't know who the summoners are, that the names are anonymous, that, hey, I'm in your game. So, honestly, at this point, I'm just going to end it here, but I think further investigation is going to need to take place between these two. Moving on from that interaction, we can see clear as day that Gochu's just trolling on Nunu. The enemy team asks if we're remaking, but I let them know that we aren't, and that we're getting trolled. I call for an open mid at 3 minutes because I realize Gochu and Mega are duo. And if you think about it, open mid is the fastest way to escape this because two players that only intend to troll can refuse to surrender and hold you hostage as long as they can stall the game out. So in this case, I have to break the summoner's code to essentially save my sanity, and that reflects how sad of a game state that this is. So it's at this point where Mega's grief starts to shine, trying to portray innocence or feign ignorance, however you want to see it, asking why we would open mid. Later in the match, they try to get another rise out of me, questioning why I have more deaths than them, before thankfully the enemy team ends in around 18 minutes. And it should be no surprise that the surrender vote failed at 15. And then moving on to post-game really quick, here is proof of Mega and probably Gochu abusing the report system to falsely accuse myself as the disruptive player. So after the match, I was digging into these accounts and realizing that this was the one-off case, so my friend requested them to ask why they decided to troll. After breaking down Mega, who continued to put up a front, they admitted that they trolled out of boredom. I asked about a connection to Ezreal, to which they responded, ask Gochu. So after their next match, Gochu accepted my friend request, which led to an additional harassment, which I will not share in this video, but will be attached to the report ticket for these players. From that interaction, it's clear that Gochu was the leader and Mega was complicit. Gochu seems to be a little bit more brash and kind of lives for this, so I personally would suggest an IP ban based on my additional interaction, because they'll more than likely continue to rank up accounts or start purchasing them just to go ahead and troll ranked queues. Mega seems to be a little bit more hesitant and only went along with Gochu, but that doesn't make them innocent in this matter. Riot can go ahead and show mercy, but at the end of the day, all accounts tied to both of these players need to be investigated and held accountable. Anyways, that's all I have for now. I hope Riot actually starts holding people accountable. These videos sit at a 20% success rate, which is far too low for the time I spend doing Riot's job and providing you evidence with context. There's definitely a better way to handle this, and I firmly believe it's the Tribunal, and I will not stop spreading that message until they finally realize it.